So we back at it again today. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope you're outside enjoying some of this, warm summer weather, while we have it. Today I'll be doing like a brief reintroduction on, myself and who I am and what I'll do. And I'll also be going over some of the July releases. We got a lot of good shoes coming out in July, but some of them, are, just okay and, not a necessity. So, I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions on some of the July releases, whether I'm copping them or passing them. Also, when you guys get a chance, can you go check out my last upload? I went over some of the best 4th of July sneakers. If you could go check that video out, show us some love, I would appreciate it. Thank you. So we'll go right into the introduction. My name is Corey. I've been collecting since like 2012, 2013, around that time frame. When I first started out, my collection wasn't as large as it is now. I didn't have as many sneakers, I wasn't, I was working, kind of like part-time at that time. So, I had to pick and choose on some of the releases that were coming out back then. Wasn't able to grab everything, but, over time, I saw, my money started to grow a little bit more, and, I was able to pick up a little bit more releases and things like that. I never wanted to have, the biggest collection or the rarest collection. I just wanted a good rotation of sneakers that I would wear on a daily basis. I think I did that, with picking up things that I actually wear and I put on feet. There's there's not too many shoes that I have in my collection that I can say that are really dead stock. Anything I plan, purchase, I plan to wear, or I will wear down the line. I'm not really into it for, resale or like a dollar amount. I do it because I like it. I just, I don't want to get into it, for money and things of other things like that. It's just, I like collecting sneakers. I like wearing them. I like talking about them. So, why not get on here and kind of, educate people who, might want to purchase a pair of shoes. So I have sold shoes in the past, but I also, bought shoes as well. So, but I'm trying to, move past that selling phase and, buckle down and be a little bit more selective, I guess, at what I buy. Because, if I buy it, I plan on, like I said before, I plan on keeping it and wearing it. I don't want to, look back in a couple of years or down the road and be like, dang, I don't even wear those no more. I should try to move them or get rid of them, I would like to, keep them and, actually put them. Let me know if I left anything out. Let me know if you would like to know anything, more about me as a collector. Don't be afraid to, engage with me, engage with the content. I'll reach out, I'll respond, even if it's, not on YouTube, even if it's on one of the, social media sites, I'll engage back, so, just let all that out of the way. We'll get into some of the July releases. Starting the month off on July 3rd, we have the Air Jordan 3 Pure Monies. I think I talked about these in my last video. It's an all over, all white Jordan 3. With that, over time it will get dirty. That's probably the main thing that's deterring me from, picking these up or wanting to purchase these. And like I said before, I think I had the Pure Money 4s, and over time that shoe did not age well. The netting on the side started to yellow. The inside of the sock liner was just got so dirty over time. It's just, I can't do a all over or all white Jordan 3 or Jordan 4. It's just, not a necessity and not something that I'm looking forward to, picking up. So, with that being said, I'm just gonna have to, pass on the Air Jordan 3 Pure One. Come in on Coming out on July 12th, you have the Air Jordan 1 Self-Expression. Um, I think it's just an all-over black Jordan 1 that over time starts to fade and an image underneath it starts to appear. Um, it looks like the image underneath it may be like different colors, like I'm seeing a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of pink. Um, it's probably gonna be a pass for me. I've seen, Jordan 1s like this done before, and it's nothing new. This whole shoe and the ideal, it reminds me of the Couture 1s a while back, that had the little red line going through it. I can't see myself picking these up, and I'll be passing on those. For the Air Jordan 1 Self. Coming out on July 18th is the Air Jordan 3 Women's Starfish. It seems like the women get some of the best shoes. They get like the best colorways, but if we're lucky, it may come in extended sizing. So, maybe the big feet fellas may be able to fit into these, but we'll have to see. Right now it's just saying women's, so women's exclusive. So, but we'll see. It looks to be like an all-over canvas-like material on the upper, and where the elephant print is in orange, and it looks like the sock liner is orange as well. I'm not really sure on the bottom. The bottom looks to be like a different material as well, but I can't tell from this picture. But I don't know. I would have to see that shoe in hand and find out whether it comes in extended sizes in order to make my decision on it. But right now, that's up in the air on the Air Jordan 3 Women's Starfish. Finally, on July 19th, you have the Air Jordan 8 Aquas. So finally, they have come back and they've returned. I think the last time they came out was 2015. For some reason, I passed on these back in 2015. I looked at 8s as being a big and bulky shoe. It's kind of part of the reason I sold my playoff 8s. I think I wore my playoff 8s one time and I got rid of them. So, and now I need those back as well, because they all go as one. They're a complete set. So I need both of those back. So yes, I will be copying the Air Jordan 8 Aquas. I wanted to see if I could get them early, but I don't know. I'm not really into picking up shoes early. It kind of spoils the release. I take pride in going out and picking up my shoes on release day. And just the whole early thing. It's like, I don't know. If I get the shoe early, it just kind of spoils the release for me. It's just, I've already had the shoe, so when it finally does release to the public, it's not that big a deal to me. So, we'll see. But yes, I will be picking up a pair of the Air Jordan 8 Aquas. So on July 24th, that is my birthday, by the way. A Air Jordan 3 grade school denim will be released. I won't be picking up a pair of those, with it being grade school, basically toddlers and preschool. But I will have a shoe that I'll splurge and, go all out for my birthday. I have a few suggestions or a few ideas in mind that I want to, that I've been looking at and I've been kind of pricing. But, I'll decide, once it gets a little closer towards my birthday. But yeah, I won't be picking up a pair of the Air Jordan 3 grade school. Finally, on July 26th, you have the Air Jordan 4 OG Rare Air. So I think they released these earlier at All-Star Weekend earlier in the year. Of course, there's two pairs. There's one with the gold lettering and there's one with the white lettering. So I'm gonna try to get the pair with the gold lettering. Um, I know there's no way of telling it when you purchase the shoe, but fingers crossed, and hopefully I get one with the gold pair. The gold pair is supposed to be a little bit more limited, and the white pair is supposed to be somewhat more widely available. But yeah, I will be picking up a pair of those. Yeah, it seemed like that shoe has been out for a while now, and a lot of people had it in hand early, and that's just been one I've been waiting on since the beginning of the year. So yeah, I will be picking those up. There are not too many shoes that I'm looking to pick up in the month of July. I think other than the Air Jordan 8 Aquas and the Rare Air 4s, that's pretty much it for me. And those are towards the end of the month, like going into August. So, I'm gonna be able to, save some money in July. So, but I'm definitely gonna need it going into August, because August is looking, a little bit more crowded compared to July. But yeah, basically 2 shoes that I'm looking forward to picking up in July. In preparation of getting the Aquas, I will try to get those playoffs back. I know they are a bit pricey, because immediately after I sold my pair, the price on them went up. So I may have to pay a little bit more, but I'm gonna try to get my Air Jordan 8 playoffs back, just to go with the Aquas, or just to have to complement the Aquas when I get them. But yeah, I know you're supposed to be releasing the Air Jordan 8 Bugs Bunny, later on in the year. I think sometime in November. But with the 8s only having 3 original colorways, I really feel like I wouldn't need another 8 once I had all the OGs. So I will work on getting those Air Jordan 8 playoffs back, and on the 19th I will be getting the Aquas as well. So that only leaves one left. So, and like I always tell y'all, all work is easy work when you're doing what you love to do. Y'all stay blessed, and I'll catch y'all next time.